Mosier Media Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Commute here on the Mosier Media Podcast. And we have an update, a status update on the set. And that status update is that I have not done a thing since last Monday morning when we first introduced our new podcast set area. It's been a very busy week last week, of course, and the weather was nice, which is always a problem for me because I love the summer. I love to be outside. A couple of distractions, going to the lake, going bike riding on the trails that we have throughout Akron and Summit County. We have a really great park system here. We have the National Park, of course, the Cuyahoga Valley National Park just north of us here, and a lot to do outside in the summer. So sometimes I don't get a lot done on the sets indoors, but here on a Monday morning, on Monday, June 22nd, do I have that right? It's a little rainy here in Akron, Ohio, and it's supposed to rain all week. So I'm going to get a little bit of work done on the sets this week for sure. But what I want to talk about today is the set we are building upstairs in the other building on the 6th floor at 540 South Main Street, and that is Akron Community Studios. And of course, many of you who know me know how passionate I am about local television and that we have built WAOH television to serve Akron as Akron's local TV, of course on Roku and Apple TV and Fire Stick and all of that. We are building a community information channel, and as part of that, we have established a nonprofit called Akron Community Studios online at akroncommunitystudios.org. And what we are doing is raising money to have a dedicated space for college students, for citizen journalists, for community activists, for content creators who would like to produce something that is Akron focused. And at the same time, we would like to be donating airtime from WAOH television so that all the content that comes out of Akron Community Studios, produced by individuals and nonprofit organizations, can be aired on WAOH television. And also, probably the most important part of this venture is to provide education and access to technology to those who would like to explore the media business who may not have access to technology for any number of reasons. Perhaps there are high school students who don't have a high school media program at their high school for funding reasons or any other reasons. Maybe they don't have journalism. Maybe they don't have a video production class. The kinds of things that many of us in the industry remember growing up with. And high school is typically where those of us in media fell in love with journalism and video production and photography and all of that. And unfortunately now, a lot of high schools don't have the resources to provide these programs. So what we are doing is serving a population that may not necessarily have the desire to go to college or the money, but they would like to explore our field. And so many of us had the advantage of mom and dad supporting us, as I did. So many of us got into this business because, in my case, and happy Father's Day, yesterday, of course, Father's Day, in my case, my dad was able to support me getting into the media business in a lot of ways. My parents owned a business. They had a small business they built together, and of course, that business had a little bit of space in the corner that when I was in high school and out of high school, I could build a small studio, and I launched Mosier Media in the corner of Mosier Medical, my parents' business. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And of course, every year, on my dad's birthday and on Father's Day, I always tell him, thank you for supporting me. And as I said, I might be interested in starting a video business and skipping college to do it. And my dad supported that idea. And here we are 35 years later, and I'm still at it and continue to have a great career, and I love this business. But there are young professionals, there are community activists, citizen journalists who don't have access to the technology they need to be able to make a difference in the community. So what we are doing is we are building Akron Community Studios as a place for all of us to come together, for nonprofits to be able to come in and be interviewed on our television shows that we're creating and share the word about what their organization is doing to serve Akron. College students who need to do their internship hours can have access to this space 24/7. In our operations here and all of our media production businesses, it is possible for an intern to show up and find out that the entire team at that particular studio is out on a shoot that day. And they were leaving at 7 a.m. and sometimes, believe it or not, the crew forgets to tell the intern the entire team will be out on a shoot that day. And if the intern isn't available till 9, let's say their schedule is 9 to noon or 9 to 2, they're shadowing on that day, there are scheduling challenges. So one way to overcome that is to have a studio that is open and available for the entire community, for students, for those who want to learn. And of course, there will be workshops. And those workshops will have a fee, unless, of course, a person comes to us and says, you know, I would like to learn, but I don't have the money. We are going to make these workshops available to all. We are going to eliminate the barrier to education. We're at the very least going to allow a young professional or a citizen journalist or someone in the community who wants to learn access to education, access to technology. So what we're doing is leveling the playing field. We're not going to be a college. We're not going to be a trade school. We are going to be a community organization that exists as a creative space for those who would like to come together and create content that makes a difference for our community. Of course, as you can imagine, I'm asking for your support. hello@akroncommunitystudios.org is the email, and we have a Zelle set up. We are a 501c3. We're registered with the IRS in the state of Ohio, and any contribution made, whether it's $5, $10, or $100, is tax deductible. Of course, consult your CPA. But what I'm asking is that if you'd like to make a contribution, you can do so through Zelle using hello@akroncommunitystudios.org. Also, we need volunteers. So those of you in the media business, all of my friends in media, consider coming down and touring the new studio. Take a look at Akron Community Studios, the 6th floor of Building 9, 540 South Main Street. Take a look at what we're doing. Get involved, volunteer, and let's do something great for our community. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and thank you for allowing me to continue to live the dream, build this business, and do something great for our community with WAOH, our television project, and of course now our nonprofit, Akron Community Studios. It's open to all. And if you're watching this and you would like to sign up for workshops, if you would like to come in and use the studio for community projects, to create media, create content for Akron, to tell stories, we're really looking for great stories. We really need it to be community service related, things that nonprofits are doing. We're not going to have any for-profit businesses in the studio, so you can't come up and make a commercial or an infomercial for your business. It really needs to be about community leaders, grassroots organizations, people doing things in Akron that are making our community better. That's what it's all about. So of course, we invite anyone watching this that would like to just be a part of what we're doing. You're welcome to come up and join our team, see what we're doing, volunteer, become a part of Akron Community Studios. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been the Monday Morning Commute here on the Mosier Media Podcast.
Mosier Media Podcast.